Hey there, Abiding fam. Welcome back to another journaling hangout. I'm so excited to be sitting down at my desk with you. It feels like it has been forever since we've gathered. Hasn't been that long, but just because we're doing our monthly hangout a little bit later this month than we typically do since I was traveling last week, it feels like it's been extra long since we got to hang out. So go ahead and say hello in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me okay and if you can see my desk. I think it looks like everything is working on my end just fine. I'll bring you a little bit closer. Good, I'm glad you can hear okay. My name is Kelsey Lee if you are new, and this gathering is all about getting together to document our memories and our lives 1 month at a time. And you can see here that I have September on the screen. This is what we documented for last month. And we have been doing this for every month so far this year as part of the monthly journaling club. It has been such a fun practice to do this in community, and I can't believe that we're actually almost near the end of a year. So if you have been with us since we started this practice together in January, you only have 3 more months if you haven't documented October yet, like me, until you are going to have a completed year of memories. And I just think that is so exciting. And if you are somebody who has not yet joined in this practice, this is the perfect time to start thinking about doing a monthly journal in 2025. I will have some videos coming out about how to get started. I already have some here on my channel that you can go and check out if you look on my channel for monthly journaling. To learn more about how we do this practice, watching this video is obviously a great way to learn about it too, but I can't recommend participating in 2025 enough. And hopefully everybody who is joining us today and has been doing this practice can confirm in the comments how wonderful it is to document your lives in this way. The journal that I am using, great question, is the Dingbats B5 journal. So it's a little bit larger, as you can see, than kind of your average journal size. I think most people use around an A5, but I really like this larger journal just because I use so many photos and stickers and things and really want to document as many memories as possible. So that is what I recommend, but if you're just getting started, a smaller notebook might be better for you. So we are going to turn the page and get right to it and start documenting October. You can see I've gone ahead and printed out and actually cut out all of the photos that I may want to use for this journaling session, documenting everything that I want to document for October. And I also have some little memorabilia things that I've picked up along the way. I'm always holding on to little flyers like this. I went to our library book sale and got a bunch of books. I have a little note from my boss following our board meeting. I have a stamp from a basically conservation area that we went for a hike at. I have a sticker from a company that I ordered some outdoor gear from for our trip. We unfortunately lost my uncle in this month, and so I have this from his funeral, so I may use one of the photos from that. I did hold on to this. I received so much junk mail. I kind of wish that I had held on to every piece I received in this election living in Pennsylvania just to see how high the stack would have been, because it was honestly so ridiculous how much mail was sent to my house regarding this election. But I held on to this one because I thought this may be one that actually would be nice for in my journal. But I may actually save this until November. And then I have this pamphlet from this wine heart gala that we were able to go to. So those are just some of the items that I had saved. I always recommend kind of keeping a little box or something on your desk or a folder that you can just tuck things in as the month is going by to hold on to them. And then I also went ahead and printed out my stickers for this month. If you're new, then you may not know that for this year, every single month, we have been creating a sticker collection together over on my Patreon, and they have been themed after the month. So we literally have all things related to October in this collection, and then also some major October dates and observances. This one has like a really beautiful poem. I always throw in some great word stickers that you may want to use for documenting the month, and then always some spots for your journaling. And then on the $2 tier on Patreon, you always get a sample sheet of the stickers as well as a journal prompts sheet. So kind of just going along again with the theme, but more of a prompt style of sticker. And then I also wanted to show you, for those who are printing out the stickers, whether you're doing that as a member or purchasing them individually, that you can also print two to a sheet. If sometimes I think, depending on your journal size, these may feel a bit big, depending on what you want to do with them. So you can always print two to a sheet, and then that'll make the stickers a little bit smaller and also give you more bang for your buck in terms of the amount of paper you are using. So those are all of the October stickers that I've gone ahead and printed and we will be using. And then I did want to share really quickly that the November collection is now available as well. So you can go ahead and access these. The journal prompts I just finished and will be releasing very soon. I printed them out, but something went wrong with my printer, as you can see. But we'll have some nice journal prompts for you very soon over on Patreon as well. But I'm really excited to use this collection for the end of this month to document Thanksgiving and just all the coziness of the end of autumn and the start of transitioning into the holiday season. So really excited about that, and I hope that you all are loving the stickers, and very soon I will be releasing our December poll where you get to share with me which color palette you think we should use for the December collection, as well as what sticker ideas you have for December, because I always love incorporating your sticker ideas. So I think that is everything I wanted to share as a preamble. I did also want to go through my newest order from Obujo, but I'm kind of feeling like it may be a lot of time because I have quite a bit in here, as you can see. I'm very excited about it, but maybe instead I will just save this for another video so that we can just jump into our journaling. So stay tuned for my channel if you want to see what I got from Obujo. I have a lot of really beautiful supplies in here, but I don't want to take up too much of your time before we jump into the actual journaling. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my October kind of main sheet here. Hi Janie, hi Rosa, hi April. Go ahead and say hello in the chat. I always love to be able to say hi officially to you guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what time it is. If you also want to share if you are enjoying a cozy beverage, I actually have my Rise Mushroom Hot Cocoa, which is just my favorite bedtime drink. Hopefully it doesn't make me too sleepy. I brought it in here, but now I don't know where I put it because I was going to show you. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Here it is. Yeah, this is the Rise Mushroom Hot Cocoa. And I love it because it has melatonin in it, so it actually helps you fall asleep and just kind of relieve stress at the end of a day. So it really does help me just kind of unwind and go to sleep. And it tastes great, so I will link it in the description when we are done here if you're interested in that. But that is what I am enjoying. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Paige. Oh, look at you, April. You're way ahead working on your monthly page for November. Go you. I am really excited to document November when the time comes, just because we had the most amazing start to the month. Many of you know that we had the opportunity to go to Arizona last week. Actually, we went for my cousin's wedding, but we turned it into a whole big trip. And we are really into hiking and kind of like amateur mountaineering. And we were able to go through the Grand Canyon and do the rim to rim hike, which if you're not familiar with it, it is a 21-mile hike, literally from, in our case, the south rim to the north rim. So it's 10 miles across if you were to draw a straight line, but it's 21 miles on the actual trail. And meanwhile, if you want to get from rim to rim driving, it's a 4-hour drive. So we were really proud of getting to do that and accomplishing it. I felt really strong and powerful having done so. And then a few days later, we climbed Humphreys Peak, which is the tallest mountain in Arizona. So I have so many wonderful photos I can't wait to share with you from that experience. And it's just going to be so much fun to look back on, both in my monthly spread, but then also when the time comes, I will definitely be doing some travel journal entries related to it as well. All right, let's see where I always kind of just line up where the dots are. And you'll notice that as always, I am putting my title sticker in the center of the page. That's just a personal preference. Maybe I will switch it up in a future year. But for now, I like keeping it consistent for the year that I am in, and so this setup has worked nicely for me. Oh, how wonderful that you just found us. Did you find us today? I'm also in central Pennsylvania. I'm in the kind of right outside Harrisburg area, though I work in Lancaster. All right, so now I'm gonna just take all of my photos I've printed out, and I have been printing mine out on a 5x7 sheet of photo paper. And in my case, it's like a luster, I think is what it's called, photo paper rather than a full gloss. So it has a little bit of a satin sheen to it, but isn't just totally reflective, which I personally really like. And the way that I get all of my photos small is I make a collage using the Pic Collage app on my phone. And then that allows me to basically just figure out an order for them all within one photo, and then I just cut them out. So I'm trying to put like items together. Like these are all related to a rock climbing trip or day. It wasn't really a trip, just a day of rock climbing that we had. Here we're making some fresh apple cider with our friends, and then these are all book related. So I'll put those together as well. And then these are both photos of my nieces, one where we went to see her play soccer, and the other got baptized in October, so we got to be there for that. You can see too, I also already put this sticker on here just because I didn't want to lose it, and it was one that I didn't have a back for, so I just wanted to stick it down right away because it was actually stuck to my cup from a boba place that I went to. So then I have, let's see, this would also be related to kind of hiking. I think I lost a photo. Oh, here it is. It's stuck to my sticky note. My hiking sticker. I got this. This I really like, and the colors actually would work quite nicely for, actually this entire color palette is basically my color palette with the purple, yellow, orange, and brown, and the green. But I just feel like it's so big, so I'm debating if I want to cut out just the Middletown Public Library part, or maybe just book sale. I'm not sure yet what I want to do there. Hi, Nancy. Oh, that's so fun you're from New Zealand. My husband studied abroad there and absolutely loves your country, and I am very much hoping to visit one day. Let me just feel like your angle's slightly off. Okay. And then this too, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the label or logo here because I don't plan on using this entire book. I just really want the event title. This was actually a really special and well-timed event that Ben and I got to go to through my work. 2 tickets to it became available last minute, and it actually was really interesting. Kind of felt like a God moment because the day before we got the tickets was when I learned that my uncle had passed away, and he actually passed away from a heart surgery that went wrong. Basically, he ended up getting an infection in his heart, and they weren't able to save him from that. But it just felt like a God moment because then literally the next day we got an invitation to attend this fundraising gala all for heart healthcare. And so while there, we were able to donate money to support putting an AED in our, just in different places in our area. And so it just was a really neat kind of moment to be able to be there and support that at that particular moment in life. So I definitely want to use that to remember that experience. And like I said, I think I'll probably cut out one of these. I don't know if I want to do one of the photos, which they're all kind of big, but or I could just do the in loving memory. What I may do is try and find like a journaling card and make it a tip-in, just because I think I'm gonna have a lot that I'm trying to do with this entry. So it could be that I kind of do a tip-in and then you open it and it would be the picture. underneath. So I have a little box actually of journaling cards that I just keep on my desk that I can go through. I'm sorry for your loss of your grandpa last month, April. It's never easy to say goodbye. Like a card like this could be nice. I know the plans I have for you. So we'll take that one out as a possible. The colors, I'm not sure quite right. This little see-through heart could be nice too. I know that somewhere in here I have ones that are more related to loss. All right, we're gonna set that to the side and think about maybe one of these. I could also, I was thinking maybe I could back it, but it's not quite big enough. Okay. What I might do is use one of these kind of washi strips. Hello, Rose from London. So I'm thinking if I do this, I don't know if I want it there or if I want it be like here in the corner. That way it's kind of opening on the side. Back. And then I'm actually going to just use the same strip on the inside. And since I print out my printables on sticker paper, it really does kind of act just like a washi strip. There we go. Now it's got a little hinge so it can open, and then because it has that kind of see-through effect, we can put the photo underneath. We're gonna get a little extra fancy and use my decorative corner punch. This is one of those totally unnecessary journaling, scrapbooking items that I just happen to have. But if you have one, they are really fun. And then the glue that I'm using is this mono liquid glue from Tombow. And this is a new find for me because of dear Stephanie, one of my patrons, who gifted this to me. And it was so kind and unexpected. And I have been complaining this entire year about how I don't like any of the adhesives that I've been using. And then she sent me that one and said it works really well with the Dingbats paper. And she is correct. I am loving it. So thank you so much again to Stephanie. So there we have that. I'm probably going to decorate some more around this then. Maybe even cut out the, like, in loving memory. Potentially, you can definitely tell, even like in the photo where the pamphlet was getting crinkled, but just cut out in loving memory. other side of the river. I wonder, we go to church in Camp Hill, so maybe you're closer to that area. Too funny. I love the small world and big world aspect of this channel. Some of you write in and say that you live in the same state or even in the same like general county as me, and then others are writing in from New Zealand and London. That's so fun to me that literally this one special little hobby can bring so many people together. So there we go. Now it says in loving memory, and I will probably add some more, maybe even just like his name, and then maybe I'll write uncle. It does sound like a perfect day to journal. We have not experienced real rain here in the longest time. It's getting very sad. So if you could send us a little rain, we're supposed to get like some drizzle maybe this evening, but they've been saying that all the time and it hasn't happened. And use my Pentel brush pen. Just write uncle. So there we go, and then so we'll add probably some more decoration then around that. And what happened to my, there it is, cut out. See, I'd love to stick this here, but then it sticks out awkwardly, so it doesn't quite work. Just am regretting cutting it out like this because I don't like the shape of it with the fussy cutting. So we'll see how and if we want to use it. I could just cut out the heart as a possible alternative. Okay, I definitely like that better. So maybe we'll stick that in there, maybe we'll put it separate, but for now we're gonna move on to other parts of the page. As much as I love the fact that these colors all work so nicely, I'm kind of feeling like I need to just use part of it because it's just so big. Maybe, all right, let's see what it might look like if we just used. I'm gonna do all this fussy cutting and then decide I only want part of it, but oh well. So here's our book sale. So we put that up there. And I could put this book here because I actually got this book as part of the Rose Cottage book series at the previous fall book sale that I went to at this library. And this one, this library sale, let me tell you, I was blown away because normally I only make it to like the last day or so of the library sale, you know, when most things have been kind of picked through. And I went this time on the first day, and I could not believe like so many books that were basically brand new and like new releases, ones that just came out in the last year or so that they had for, you know, $2, $3. So I made out at this book sale. There were so many that I just couldn't pass up. And there were even some that they had that I read this year and had purchased and then was kicking myself because I could have gotten them at the library sale instead for much cheaper. So this might work. It definitely takes up a lot of room, but I think it could work. And then I've got my little reading. Then all of these can kind of go around it. And these are all of my book related photos. And although it's not part of the October collection, I am kind of tempted to use this sticker from the November collection that says Night In with a Good Book, because this photo here is one that I sent to Ben when he was away, and I was having just the coziest night with my blanket from my FabFitFun box that I shared in my most recent fall vlog. And then I had a mug of my Rise hot cocoa again, and The Lord of the Rings that I'm currently reading, and I had the fireplace going, and on the TV I put on a Lord of the Rings ambient world soundtrack, so I was listening to that and just having the coziest night in. So I think this sticker just could not be more perfect to describe that. And the nice thing is that the November and October colors work really well together. I mean, they actually are very similar palettes. I was kind of debating because it's just what one, if I wanted to try and switch it up a bit more, but I think they're different enough, but they can complement and go with each other really nicely too. Oh, I see your comment page about the back of the pamphlet. I will look at that in a second. Okay, so we can put this here, and then my cozy night in with a good book. So I'm liking this idea, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and put these items down rather than try and think about it anymore. I always tend to have a big part of my monthly entries dedicated to books in some way or fashion, but just goes to show that reading will always be a big part of my life. It has been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. Though I am behind on my reading goal this year. I think just the last month or so, with work getting extra super crazy again, and then we were doing extra training and preparation for our trip. I just definitely fell off of the bandwagon. I also was listening more to like podcasts and stuff than audiobooks, so I don't think I actually finished a book in October, which is kind of crazy for me. So I am now a few books behind on my goal, but oh well. It's ultimately not really about the numbers, but about just making it a priority and enjoying what you are reading. If you read any really great books this year, I would love to know. I had shared a whole list of books that I plan to read in the fall in my latest video, and as you can see, I've not made it very far because I'm just reading The Lord of the Rings, and obviously it's super long, and so it's just very much slowing my progress down, but I do still want to read all of those books that I had shared. I did read a few of them already, and in that video, I hadn't yet started reading The Lord of the Rings. At that time, I just said, oh, I feel like it'll be a great book for the fall because of like the fantasy elements, and I don't know, it just has that feeling to it. And now that I'm reading it, in the Fellowship of the Ring, the whole like beginning is talking about autumn. It actually is set, you know, in their version of September and October. So it has been really nice actually reading it in the fall. I didn't realize how much it actually aligned with this season. Oh, The Last Bookshop. I am pretty sure that I read that and really enjoyed it. I think I listened to that one on audio. Sorry for that. Let me try and fix this angle. Okay, and then we have our little owl with the books, which goes great with my mug too, that has the moon on it. So that's my night in. We have our apple cider experience. I'd like to use this sticker, but it's also a lot of owls happening then. So I'm debating maybe just putting the company title and cutting it, so it's only at the kind of the top in terms of our trip prep that we were doing. Ways we can lay out our photos. I always kind of try and make it so that they don't line up perfectly. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Sorry, it keeps focusing on my hand instead of the page. But you can see how wherever I have a cross section, basically I try and put a little space between them, and I off-center it so that there's no through line. It's always cut off by another photo when I'm doing a collage. So for example, if I did this, you know, it doesn't look bad, but it has a different feeling when you have that perfect continuation of your break as opposed to just moving it down slightly and cutting off those continuing lines. Just adds some more visual interest, as I'm kind of a broken record saying, from a design philosophy standpoint. So I think I might just put those photos down. I don't really see myself changing them that much. The only thing I might consider is, do I want to put something under them? But you know, I don't think I'm going to. I'll use that probably somewhere else, and we'll just get these down on the page. So I love how quickly this glue dries, considering it is a liquid glue. I feel like as soon as it makes contact, it pretty much dries right away. So like I said, these photos are from going rock climbing with some of our friends. And then we also did quite a bit of hiking in this month, trying to prep for our big rim to rim hike in the Grand Canyon. So on this particular day, we actually did 15 miles, which was, I think, the longest that we had, either of us had really done in a single day. but we actually did it in like 5 hours. We were really moving. And this photo, many of you probably will not take much interest in, but if you've been with me for a while, then you know that Ben is very into reptiles and biology and herpetology. So we actually, when rock climbing, came across this. It looks much bigger in the photo, but it was a little baby copperhead, I believe, in the leaves and the brush, and it was actually really hard to see, which made us all a little freaked out, having, because it was towards the end of our time climbing. So it kind of made us wonder, like, where's the mama copperhead and what other snakes are lurking about that we couldn't see hiding in the leaves. But it was really cool to see it, and it has this little green tail you might be able to see, which Ben was telling me is that they like kind of move their tail to make it seem like it's a worm, so that a mouse or whatever will come by to try and get the worm, and then they eat the thing that is going after the worm that is actually their tail. So I think I described that accurately, but yes, that is true, Kathy, too, that they yeah, because they can't control their venom, that sometimes they are actually more dangerous in some ways than an adult. We were having that that debate about whether that is the case or not. So this photo looks like I got super close to it, but it's a very zoomed in photo. I promise it was taken from a safe distance. All right, I'm going to do what I said earlier, and I'm gonna cut this. As much as I like the owl, and maybe I'll use it for something else. Maybe I'll save this and use it in my travel journal about the trip. And I'll just use this part on the page. Okay. Then we've got our apple cider making. I'm feeling like I may want to layer. And I'm definitely going to want to use my, I'm getting all my printables mixed up. Prompts. I have my go-to apple recipe, and then there's also baking apple crisp, because for our apple cider day I made a berry apple cobbler, actually, from some berries that we picked this summer at actually at this place, Boyd Big Tree Preserve, and added in apples, and it was absolutely delicious. So I might go ahead and put that in here. And then I think potentially I might want to add in this October's Party poem, just because I think that's a really fun addition. But because it is a bigger item, you kind of always want to put those in first, because because otherwise you're gonna run out of room with how you lay things out. So I'm just gonna cut this out. We'll see if I actually end up using it. Just gonna cut this end off first. Okay. So there we go. Cut off the So here is the poem, if we were to use it. So basically my options are on this side, trimming off the bottom, or basically on this side. I think I'm just gonna put it here and then trim the bottom. Though the reason I'm debating is because then I kind of just have this awkward spot right here between the end of this page and the fold right here. So it might be better to put it over here. Yeah, we're gonna do that rather than deal with making a more awkward space. Right, I'm just gonna turn Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier to cut when you're trying to trim off the edge. And there we go. So now we have a nice little poem added in to our entry by George Cooper. And this poem was a recommendation from one of my patrons as well. Because I have this here, and you can see it's the same pattern as what I use in these journaling spots, I want to use at least one of the journaling spots on the opposite page for a little bit of balance. And this can be a spot where I do a title or I do a tiny bit of journaling explaining, you know, that Lord of the Rings is my current read, or how much I'm enjoying listening to the Andy Serkis version on audio. I can't recommend it enough. If you are a Lord of the Rings fan or have never read them and want to read them, pair it with the Andy Serkis audio version. He does such a phenomenal job reading these books. So if I put this here, the question is going to be what to do with this space. All right. Just going to put it here, overlaying the Lord of the Rings big book photo that I have here. This is the beautiful illustrated edition that I have. And then I think I'll probably write something on there regarding this. And then I'm going to cut out, while I'm thinking about it, maybe both of these, but in the journal prompts stickers, I have this one that says, "How will you enjoy the outdoors this fall?" And the idea of these journal prompts is that you can either use them literally as journal prompts in a way to spark how you might write about an entry, or you can use them basically as titles for things that you are documenting. And in this case, I think this could be a nice way to basically title or caption our experience up here in the corner of rock climbing and hiking. So I could put it right in the middle of these. I kind of like that idea because there's actually kind of dead space in all of these photos in the middle. So this just helps tie them all together. And I always like covering up what I consider dead space in photos to kind of keep your eye on the focal point. Using stickers. So there we go. And then I'll probably do like a list. It's not quite big enough. I was thinking I could do it in one of these up here, but it's not big enough. What's up, Jean? I think she hears Ben coming home. Hold on. I know, I hear him. All right, I am going to let her out of the room so she can go hang out with him. 1 second. There we go. Okay. There you go. Go be free. Okay. She went down to greet him. Otherwise, she hangs out here in here with me. Okay, so I have this, and I'm thinking I could put that here, maybe. And then I could write kind of like rock climbing, hiking, herping, I guess. Though it's not normally a fall activity. So they're not normally out in the fall that much, but when you have a fall like we had, which was so warm compared to usual, some more time outdoors could be good. Or maple cider I definitely want to use for our apple cider making, because we literally made it and then heated some up on the stove and enjoyed it right there and then. All right, so let's think about I'm gonna just put this here so that way it lines up with this piece. And sometimes I like to leave the white border on my stickers when I'm putting it onto the white background, because then you preserve the outline fully of the sticker. But in this case, because I'm going to be overlapping it with the photo that has a dark background, I'm going to trim all of that off, and then I can just stick it down and it'll kind of just melt into the page a bit more. Warm apple cider. And this photo is just of the cider press and us all kind of chucking in apples in our friend's living room. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Bouncing. All right, let's see how well we can cut this out, because I've already kind of messed up the not having the white outline. One of these days I will get my Cricut machine hooked up and actually try having that cut out my stickers, but I try to keep it similar to what the average person will be doing, and I know most people do not own a Cricut machine or a Silhouette or any of the other cutting options, and we'll just be cutting them out like hand, like me. There we go. Thinking I can put that here, and then I don't know, maybe somewhere I can say what my go-to apple recipe is. All right, I think these photos of my nieces are actually the last two that I need to put on the page. Of course, we'll debate where 1,000 times over. I think I'm leaning towards just sticking them down here. In part because I learned recently that my one niece, she actually had a boba or bubble tea themed birthday party this year. I guess that's her new current obsession. And I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but I do enjoy a good bubble tea. So we'll stick her photo along with the bubble tea sticker. You know, I'm actually gonna do it a little different and layer them like this, I think, because I'm always typically doing a very structured kind of everything perpendicular and straight up and down, and I kind of like the more scrapbooky feel of layering them, though it probably would work better if I provided outline to it. So I'm going to first stick it on here and then cut it out. So that way it's got a frame. This like trick takes me back to scrapbooking with my mom when I was first getting started, because we would literally mat all of our photos. Every photo got stuck on a background piece of paper and had a mat to make it pop on the page. So that was the style. I will tell you what, that Rise hot cocoa really does work. I am getting very sleepy. Maybe it was not the right thing to drink during a live stream. See, and then we can make that pop a bit more. And then since this is a sticker, we can just peel the back off. And I'm gonna actually put it off the page a little bit, and then I'll just trim. All right, look at us. We got all of our photos on the page. I remember one of you said about, that's what you were saying, that there's the one is on, just random things stuck to it. So that is not a bad idea. This is why I journal with you guys, because you always catch things and help me to journal even better, because this is a great point that this would blend better than the other one that I cut out from the front. So I could even put this. Well, Genie, he's barking. Just wanted to play. Let's see. Ooh. Maybe just fussy cut the left side. I'm trying to see, because I, of course, managed to not cut straight at all. And I don't want it to be like totally covering his face, but I'm also trying to see there's like a line in the photo from the pamphlet being folded, so I was thinking I could kind of put it there. But I don't know if it looks like I'm trying to cover him up too much. So I guess we can try fussy cutting again, though that is where I ran into problems the first time around. But maybe it'll look better with the white. And if it doesn't, we can always just put it directly onto the white background. It's not, I think that could work, because it's also not like it's going to be covered up unless you open it and then it's just kind of explaining. That goes until the edge, so I'm not going to think too hard about it. There we go. All right, that works. Yeah, the melatonin was a mistake. It tastes so good though. Okay, let me clean up all my little bits. So, what else do we want to use? I do want to use maybe like this autumn leaves and a good book please could be cute, because this was kind of me reading outside in my hammock with all the autumn leaves. Let's get extra cozy. I really like that sticker, and I do have smaller versions of them too since I printed out these, so that is also an option. I kind of like the bigger one though. Oh, I forgot to mention too, while I'm cutting this out, that you can also become a free member on Patreon. Many of the people who are part of the monthly journaling club are just free members, which means you may not have access to all of the stickers, but every month I do put out a freebie from the sticker collection. And this month's freebie is actually a journaling card that features this sticker in it. So it's this design on a background that is actually this one that we cut, and then it says pumpkin spice and everything nice. So that is the freebie that is available this month, and the freebie is always attached to the live stream post on Patreon. So if you go over there and check out the post for this live stream video and then recording, that is where you'll find it attached. So we have our autumn leaves. A good book, please. There, or we could put it on this side. Actually, that kind of fills this awkward little gap quite nicely. And then we always have these leaf stickers to help fill in gaps too. I love using these kinds of stickers as filler when we kind of get to the end and have these awkward spaces. They are really nice to just fill everything in. Just for my particular style for these monthly spreads, as you can tell, is just to completely fill the page and have no white space, because I really like the maximalist look for these, because to me it's like the whole month of memory just exploded onto the page, and it just shows how much you have to be grateful for, all the things that you want to remember from that month, rather than making it more designed by having negative space and all that, like I do for some other style of entries that I might create. All right, let me go to my list. Hello, welcome, welcome. If you're wondering, how does she remember what she did every single month? The answer is I keep a note in my phone and on all my Apple products, it's in my notes app, that is just journaling notes, and I just keep a running list as the month is going on, just like quick bullet points of things I may want to document. And that is how I do it. So some of the things I will have photos for, and so printing them out and going through my photos is always an easy way to recall what happened. Of course, saving my memorabilia, but then having this list and trying to keep it updated as things are happening is just the best way for me to make sure I'm staying on top of everything. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna stick this lady up in this area. Well, maybe. Actually, I'm debating. Because So I can either put her in that space, which is cute, or I could put her over here and then talk about kind of, I don't know, I feel like this looks like a girl out in the town doing her shopping, and I was thinking I could use that to talk about going to get, I went to the outlets to go to the Morel shop for new boots, which trying to find new boots in advance of this trip was a crazy experience. I was convinced I wanted Hoka's. Everybody raves about the brand Hoka's, and I tried 3 different versions and returned them all. I just could not get past the way that the tongue and laces felt on my foot. I know, riveting conversation, but I ended up returning them because I did not care for it, and then thought, okay, what is the other brand that everybody talks about? And so I went to the Morel outlet and tried the Moabs, if you're into hiking at all. And oh yeah, those boots just totally rocked my world. I did not get a single blister with hiking. And that day I hiked, according to my Fitbit, 25 miles. Now, granted, I did use some KT tape and good socks and all that, but still pretty impressed, especially because I hadn't really broken in the boots, because after all my searching, I ended up getting those kind of last minute, just because my feet seem to not stop growing, and I feel like every year I need to like go up a half a size, and of course it depends on brands and all that too, but yes, Morel Moabs, yep, that's what I got. Yeah, Cabela's, we go there all the time, so I do recommend them if you're looking for a good hiking shoe and kind of at a loss for what to get. Consider checking them out. I have had Keens, like the more of the water shoe style. I haven't actually tried Keen boots, though I think Ben might have a pair of Keens. So because I put that there, I might put the coffee on this side over here. Oh, that's so fun, Holly, that your daughter's name is also Avonlea. I love that name so much. I admit I was, not actually, but I joke that I was upset when they named her that, because I would have loved to name a daughter that name. But having a niece that name is the second best. It's just such a beautiful name, and of course, if you're an Anne of Green Gables fan, it just speaks to my little soul, so I love it. That's so funny that she also is celebrating the anniversary of her baptism. I'll put that there, or do we want to put that maybe here? somewhere I know we have a sticker that says pumpkin spice latte. There we go. Pumpkin spice latte. And this is also on the sample sheet if you are on the Abiding Love tier. Uh-oh. It's gonna be stuck. So I want to put it, I think, all the way to the end, because then it kind of acts as a barrier in a way. It's kind of like a boundary line that goes across, and then I can put something in here. This little space is just asking for a sparkle or two. Mm-hmm. Sorry if you can hear my loud heating system. It's like you can't win either way in an old house. It's either we have AC units in the windows because we don't have central AC, or our heater is clicking and hissing and making all of its ruckus. We get about a week a year in which we don't need AC or heat on. So I really like this sticker quote. Oh, keep throwing it. That says, "There are no days so delightful as those of a fine October." And that is a quote by Alexander Smith. I think I might cut it in half and then do more of a stacked quote. Actually, that fills that space quite nicely if I, again, layer it over the photo, over some of that dead space, and then it just keeps the focus, again, on the book. right, so let's see what else we have on my list. So we've covered some of our outdoor activities. Somewhere I do want to mention about the outrageous amount of election junk mail-in ads. I have crock pot meals on here, chili and oh, we made corned beef too that I had put in the freezer from last St. Patty's Day. We had bought an extra one kind of day after St. Patty's when it's super on sale, because I'm a big fan of corned beef. Got to enjoy that in the crock pot. I have a sticker somewhere. Oh, here's my little collection. So if you are a patron, then I want to encourage you to not only be looking at the most recent collections of stickers, but also to remember that there's an entire backlog of stickers, and when you become a patron you get access to all of them. So I have here just a few examples. These are just bits and bobs because I've obviously been cutting them and using them up. This one is from the Autumn Delights collection. I don't even remember what this one is called. Pumpkin Spice Season collection of stickers. We had this one with some really pretty leaves and florals. Autumn Air was a really beautiful collection. I love the color scheme in this one. That's a great quote. It was a beautiful, bright autumn day with air like cider and a sky so blue you could drown in it. And then these ones are the Joyful Gatherings sticker collection from actually last November. So there's a lot of good ones in this collection for documenting kind of holidays and Thanksgiving time around with family. So many great word stickers related to that. So some of these actually might be good, like potluck for our time doing the apple cider, because we actually made it. It was a really nice potluck because our goal was just everybody just bring something you already have in your house. And it worked out so nicely that everybody just brought stuff that they already had. I had everything I needed to make that berry cobbler, so I just made that and brought it. People brought, you know, chips and dip that they already had, or made meatballs they had. It was just like a really good collection of items that didn't require signups or a lot of effort on anybody's part. So maybe I'll use that sticker. And then this is what I was looking for, I think. Yeah, this is from the Autumn Delights collection, when we had all of these really sweet little stickers with favorite things related to autumn, just the small joys of the season. And one of them, as you can see, is a steaming crockpot dinner after a long day. And so I am going to use that one, but there's a lot of other really great ones in this collection as well. And then here's another sheet from the Autumn Delights. So you get so much on Patreon when you become a member, because I just give you access to everything rather than take stuff away. And I've just started recently to, and I'm going to do this for every season going forward so that you'll have them all in one place, but I started with fall. And so it's, if you go in the collections tab and go to stickers by the season, fall, this provides all of these fall stickers I just shared. They're all right here. Look how many there are. That's just one season, guys. That is one single season of the year, and you get access to all of these stickers for $6 a month. So thank you so much for supporting my channel in this way. I hope that it is a blessing to you, and it is definitely a blessing to me when you join. And speaking of that, I'm really excited because Patreon just released a new feature that I just shared in the community tab on my YouTube. I just learned about it literally today, that you can now gift Patreon memberships. So if you're somebody who has always wanted to join Patreon, but feel you can't afford it, it's a great thing that now if you just go to myabidingjournal/gifts, I think is the correct link. You can now gift somebody a Patreon membership for either the entire year, in which you'd get the annual discount, which I'm only going to be running through January, or you can do it on just give them like a month of Patreon. And if you're watching this channel, then it probably means that you don't necessarily want to gift it to somebody, but want somebody to gift it to you, so you can share that link with a family member or a friend who isn't sure what to get you for Christmas or the holidays, and suggest to them that you would love a membership to Patreon, because then you will have access to all of our monthly journaling stickers from the last year, all 12 monthly collections, each of which has 3 full sheets, and then the journaling prompts, and if you're on the faith tier, you get additional faith add-on sheets and so much more. And then, of course, also access to everything I've put out over the last few years, which I've been putting out a new collection every month for I think like 5 years now. So you can do the math of how many printable collections of stickers that is, but safe to say it's a lot. There's a lot on Patreon, so I really do think it's just a little plug for the Patreon. It's a really good value, especially if you're just starting out with creative journaling. You've seen as I've been creating this page that I've basically only used the stickers from my latest collection, photos, and the memorabilia that I collected throughout the month, and that is it. So yes, you know, if you have extra things, like I have this little journaling card, you can use them. Sometimes I like to use other stickers and things from my own journaling stash, but I honestly just love, where do I want this? I love being able to keep it simple and just use a single sticker kit. And when you use a sticker kit, the great part of it is that it means you know that the page is going to look cohesive and everything's going to go together, because it's literally designed with the same color palette, the same style, so that everything matches. So I've got my little steaming crockpot dinners after a long day. Somewhere I want to talk about the weather and the fact that we've had 0 rain for like 40 days. Not sure where. Could be here where I say there are no days so delightful as those of a fine October. I can kind of talk about how the weather's been beautiful, but it also has not really totally felt like fall in all respects. And we're kind of wanting some rain or something to happen. did I write that? I might regret this. I'm thinking I'm gonna write a kind of big, beautiful fall weather. And then maybe over here, then say no rain for more than 40 days. And then I could also mention the hurricanes down south, which if any of you have been impacted by those hurricanes in this last month, I am so sorry. I'm praying for you. I hope that you and your families are doing okay in the recovery process. I know it's a long road ahead, and it can feel like the rest of the world has just moved on and forgotten as soon as it's no longer the most important thing in the news cycle. Now I've lost. All my stickers are jumbled. Okay, what did I say? Beautiful fall weather. Okay, the weather got a little bit wonky, but I think that's not too bad. And then I think in here I'm just gonna say like more of a description. So kind of just wrote out a description of the fall weather in a little bit more detail, saying it's unseasonably warm with no rain for the entire month. Meanwhile, there were hurricanes down in the south. So sometimes I like to do that where I have kind of the big at a glance title, and then if I want to spend time and like really read my little journaling and handwriting, I get a little bit more detail on what exactly the experience was like. I wonder if this candle sticker would be too big to stick here for my cozy night. Guess it could also be, no, it's, what is it? Yeah. It's the same size. It's even smaller on here, actually. And my contacts are getting so dry. And I feel like this live stream would be a great ad for, I promise it's not sponsored, but for the Rise Mushroom Cocoa if you want to get sleepy, because, wow, yep, it works. It really works. I just didn't expect it to work quite so well while being active. So I was gonna put it here, but I don't think I like the way it goes under the mug. So instead I'll just put it up here, and it can be a nice little addition to our cozy vignette. I could just put this part of this word sticker that says curling up with a good book and just say curling up. I don't want to repeat with a good book since I have it in the night in with a good book, but could be a way to fill. Maybe not. I thought it could be a nice way to fill this space, but it's like a little too small. Okay. I think I'm going to do this one. This one says that cozy fall feeling. So I'd love to know how everybody else's pages are going. We are getting probably near the end of our time. I typically try to wrap these up at around the 2-hour mark, regardless of how much I still have left to work on. See, now of course this one is going to be too long, so let's chop off that and just say cozy fall feeling. So this corner is filling out quite nicely with all of our book-related coziness happening. So I really love how this part is turning out, and then we'll expand a little bit down here, talking about probably our apple cider experience, mention some of the meals that we made, and then I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do in this space. I have some work-related things that I think I want to talk about, and just honestly kind of talking about how while there was a lot of good in October, I also found it to be a pretty stressful month, both because of my work life, trying to keep up then with all of my out of work like YouTube and Patreon, can be challenging when I'm feeling overwhelmed with regular work, and planning and prepping for a really big trip on top of all of that was a lot. So I'll probably have a little section that's just kind of acknowledges that. Sometimes it's nice to have those pieces as part of your journaling as well, because it's a reminder that everybody has those seasons and you get through those seasons and reach better times again. So that will go in here as well. And then we'll fill out a little bit more about our outdoor adventures and time, talk about my nieces a little bit down here, and then otherwise just fill in with a few of the other smaller events that I've put into my notes. But I think this gives you a good idea of the direction of the entry. So I'm gonna just pull it out. You can see some of my mess over to the side, but this is how it is looking. And of course, we'll be filling it up probably in the next day or so to finish it, so that it ends up looking a little bit more like this. But it is on a good path forward, and I'm excited to see what the final product looks like. If you want to see what the final version looks like, make sure that you head over to Patreon and join as a free member, or if you want access to all of the stickers, you can join on any of the tiers that makes the most sense for you, because over there in our chat, we always share what our final spreads look like, or at least I do, and I encourage you to share what your final spread looks like too, because I think it's really fun to see the community aspect of this experience, that it's not just me talking out into a void, but there's others literally all over the world who are also documenting their lives and their memories, and seeing how valuable and special they are. So I encourage you to post your photo over in that chat. It is just for patrons, so you don't need to worry about judgment, and you don't need to worry about privacy. I hope not too much, because it's not being shared publicly. So I hope that you'll consider doing that. And I thank you so much to everybody who joined me live or are watching this recording. Do go ahead and leave a comment letting me know how you are enjoying monthly journaling, or if this is something you plan to start in 2025 with us. I have more to come on my plans for what this will look like in 2025. We will continue to do these live streams, so you don't need to worry about that. But the style of the printables might change a little bit just to keep things fresh and interesting. So I will look forward to talking about that more in future videos. But thank you so much to all of my patrons who make this possible, for your amazing support of my channel. Thank you for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.